A pleasant evening, everyone, especially to you, ma'am. So, before that, I would like to introduce myself. I am Marlo T. Banuag, BSHM2B. So, today we discuss in chapter 7, which is organizing the physical facilities. So, the physical facility of an industrial enterprises is consists of first the manufacturing plant. Second is the building of premises. The third is the machine of equipment necessary to make in a product or the product also, and or the range of products and the quantities to decide, and also the organizations of these facilities is the following steps to required. So first is A is the selections of plants and location. B is a selection of interactions of buildings. C is selections of equipment. D is plant and machine layout. E is installations of equipment. Selections of plant location. The decision as to the location of an industrial plant has a vital effect on successful or a failure of operation such plant. Therefore, this should based on upon careful and consideration of all factors impermanent to the particular enterprises. So next we proceed. They have a five prime factors. So first is proximity to the market. So it means that there has been established or relationship between the centers of populations and also the manufacturing relationship to indicating that industry. And in general, this tendency to seek in its market, they have the plant located in the near market has been be evident. And also we have first is where the product is appreciable, for example, the barrier. The second is where is the professional skills is important, and also the photographer to stolier or stoliers and others hold styles to craftsmanship. And the third for the preparation bottles and involves so the third is the processing and also the add of weight, for example, the preparations of the bottled drinks which is involved the perhaps of 90% of water plus the weight of the bottle. In all case, proximity potential is consumer of primary importance is choosing allocations. Also, the bakery would not be established or expressly formulated the values, and also it's not be good set of publications or a town proper. So next, we proceed to determining the community. Once a general area of region has been determined, the selections of particular community is the next. So we choose in the community of the for the plants depends upon the consideration of the following factors. So A is labor supply, B is wage scale, C is other enterprises of the community, D is tax administrating law. Number one is the labor supply. Labor supply means the number of skilled and unskilled person available for a kind of work to be done, and this factor is often more important than all other factors, especially when skilled labor is required. Some factors can influence the labor supply and demand. For example, increase of immigration to the country can grow the labor supply and the potential depress wage, particularly for the unskilled job. 5 and again population of the plate of a supply labor and potential. Number 2 is the wage scale or differential. So wage scales differential also set the community locations. However, these are not permanent and should not be considered a definite specific factor in locating a plant sites in any communities. Third is other industry in the community. So and oftentimes, competing of complementary enterprises in the community influence the decisions of selections of plant sites. Competing industry may drain and supply certain types of labor skills, with the result that this industry become the competitive with each other. Complementary industry is particular where is the finished product of one is the raw materials for another, or respectively, nearing the market and the source of materials such as arrangement of can work in mutual advantage. As a good example of complementary industry, we have a mining industry and machinery industry, whereby the former produce the material which are converted into pig iron, which is in turn manufactured into tools and manufactured by the leaders to be used by the first industry. Fourth is industrial attitude of the community. So when you say that when you say attitude, it is the cooperative of community as a whole or someone to it is important, and also it is anti-industry is or an anti-company. We should have a good attitude that sometimes cannot be overcome or it's the best policy or relationship of a man, and also a community is a labor union of the spirit and the functions of the installations, and also we should to have the politics of the populations. Number five is tax and resurrecting law. Provincial and the town legislations are also important. The cooperation laws are most strengths in the same countries. So next is choosing the plant site. So after determining the region of the community in it, the final step is of course the selections of exact plant sites in community with the following factors to consider. First is the land, the transportations, and miscellaneous of condition pertaining to surroundings. So we tackle the land. So the definition of the land, or and also the example, is the lands include the surface of the earth like plains, there is mountains and etc. and sea and rivers, ponds and etc. And also it's about have the natural gases like air, light and natural soil and coal and natural gas. So next is transportation, and the other factors in transportation is important, where is the site is readily accessible to the rail, motor, water, or transportation as may be required, and also it's reached the place when even without transportation of their own, we will have the road and able to easy in the strands the materials and supply of easy to exit of the products. The third is the surrounding. Surrounding factor has something to do with the surrounding of the sites relative or related to the following questions. So as you can see in my slides, we have a beautiful natures, pictures, and etc. that can be see what is the world today, and we have to discover and to visit there. Next is general consideration. The plan location today is general matter of cost compared with the circumstances. So typically in the most probable location of plants is a place where is consideration of business as a whole to the total cost of producing and delivering goods for at all customers at the lowest. Actually, however, a decision of plant location is not always based on the reason for more times or management will be willing to admit and cooperate the financial ties of enterprises and personal ones to executive exercises to the balance power, and also in regards of circumstances there takes the precedence of our cause and loyalty to the hometown and every subordination caused by maybe effect and decision to build in a plan. Present stand in the plant locations. The tendency is to locate the plants in proximity in the cities rather than in the rural area or direct in the city. The suburban areas selections of erection of buildings. The choice of building depends upon its sustainability of the nature, purposes, and requirements of the business. Heavy manufacturing, for instance, call for strong and sparkling buildings, while a retail store needs a situation that will allow the adequate display of merchandise. An office, on the other hand, require light and air and freedom from unnecessary noise. Types of building. So there are two basic types of buildings, namely, the first is the single story building and second is the multi-story building. Each offers certain definite advantage. We have the advantage of single story over the multiple story. So first is low construction cost, easy material handling, natural lighting, efficiency and supervision, possibility of expansions, reduced fire and hazards, conservations of floor and space, flexibility layouts. Next, we have the advantage of multi-story over single-story buildings. So, multi-story buildings are popular. They are impact and save space. The building had the ability to accommodate more people and vertical structure. The building's air is compared to another building rather. Present extend in building construction so allow you to present extend towards the location of plants and suburban dense an area is a trend towards the directions of single-story buildings, flexibility plans, layouts, and the rural routine rather, and the material handling the cost among the other things, comprises and strong its implementation to management to erect and single-story structures. Present the trend in building installation. The building installation and facilities mentioned here and those which industry is today devoting major attention. They comprises the current trends in management thinking as regards installation for a better process and control and manufacturing efficiency as well as for the employees to increase the comfort and safety, which is pay dividends in the form of greater productivity and the lower accident and compensations cost. So next is plan layout. There are some factors influence the plan layout such as types of industry. Types of industry is it is a continuous industry. One of all materials is to receive 1 point which from receiver from operation turned to the material of finished products. And also assembly industry. Assembly is as a case of manufacturing. Second is types of products. So we have the heavy or light, large or small, solid or liquid. And third is types of operation, which is weight operation is a leader taining of external dulling and heavy maintenance data processes, and operation is involves the fire risk and the power manufacturing of fire tracker making. Next, we proceed to the plant layout and design. So, layout and designs is a plant design dial with the physical arrangement of factories, plants, warehouses, office, and laboratory areas, and commercial establishment also. And also this arrangement is involved the equipment, the people, and the workplace, and the supporting service, the utilities, luxuries, and communications of control equipment, and the building itself. Next is objectives of plan layout. So objective plan layout is making a plan. It's not and the result of even responsible for the plan, rather the improve of operations, increase of output, reduce of cost, and better service for the customer, and also the convenience of satisfactions for the company, the personnel, or likes to the shop's objectives. Each planning have the rearrangement of the project. We will have own individual objectives. This will be a very and different management with points and operating policy rather, and the specific consideration of surrounding in the projects. For efficiencies, planning is layout and plan design is important to the real objective for the clearly stated clear in the planning areas. So lastly is the it means that the fundamental layout is probably impossible to achieve the benefits of good facility any plans by its members. And also, the manager should be aimed to a certain fundamental in this facility. This includes the integrations, the utilizations, and the effective utilization of financial people and the plant space. Expansion, so easy to expand. Flexibility, easy to rearrange. Versatility is readily adaptable to change the products and also the sales of requirements and the process of improvements. Second is regularity, so it's a regular strength of the divisions of areas and relative to the size of, especially when separated by buildings, walls, floors, and the sales, and also closeness in the particular minimum of distance for moving the material supporting service to the people. And lastly is underline the sequences of logical workflow and clean work areas with suitable equipment for crop and trash and also um, waste. Last is layout planning. So layout planning is specifically any layout planning involves the first is the relationship, closeness and distance between the virus activity and the functional areas. Second is space in amount of kind, shape and activity of functional areas. Second is judgment is the activity areas into a layout plan. Before we're gonna end our discussion, I just want to say a quote first, a quote rather. So organizations begins with the awareness of what doesn't work for us. So thank you and God bless us all.